Hello, hello. I'm on holiday. How about that? I've got away from the farm and I'm down in Dorset, just north of Weymouth, and I'm staying on a farm. We're in a lovely holiday cottage. And while I'm away, I'll just show you this cattle over there, if you can see them. It's lovely. While I'm away, I'm doing a few videos. I can't help myself, can I really? I thought it'd be a nice chance to go and see a few other farmers who are sort of diversifying and doing something different. I did put something on Facebook and I was overwhelmed by the people who came to me and said they'd be interested in doing those videos. But as it is, I've picked a couple, but I'm also going to speak to the owner of this place, Rob, and see about there's a binman just turned up there. There's always distractions, isn't there? I'm going to chat to him about how he diversified from dairy farming to doing a holiday let. And also, he's going to show me his herbal leis, which actually I'm quite interested about. So far, we've had a really good holiday, actually. Here's a couple of tasters of what we've done. We went to, well, let's have a look. This is where we went to. Ooh, turtle door. How cool is that? Corfe Castle.
How would you set it on a timer?
Corfe Castle.
I know.
So there we go. It's a couple of brief snippets of what we were doing. But I'm going to go and see Rob about the cottage. He's out the back doing the pool at the moment. He's got a hot tub, so I'm going to ask him a little bit about how he set this up. But you can watch the next couple of videos I'm doing. I'm also going to see a milk station, and I'm also going to see the Dorset sunflower trail. So if you stay tuned to the next couple of videos in the next few days, you'll see those as well. But in the meantime, let's go and have a look around. It's a lovely place. We're in Honeybee Cottage. Right, so this is our gorgeous holiday home for the week, and I can just give you a very brief little look around because we're going to be unpacking and getting our stuff out. And lovely kitchen, well equipped kitchen, very nice, and lovely lounge with a big telly. We're not going to need the log burner, not unless it gets really cold. So there is a little brief look downstairs. We'll have a quick look upstairs, and then hopefully I'm going to chat with Rob, the owner, which is pretty cool. Anyway, crack on. Kids' room there, and so lovely big bed, and lovely massive bath there. There's a bathroom in there. TV, and a lovely view out the window. And let's see if I can undo this. Lovely view of the garden, the balcony. I was watching the cattle out here earlier, and they've moved into another field now. And in fact, you can just see the cattle just there. So anyway, this is where we are for a week, and I'm going to go down and say hello to Rob, who owns this place, and he'll give us a bit of an insight of, I think, hopefully, of what it's like for a farmer to run a holiday cottage. So you've seen the cottage. I am actually with the man himself who's in charge of this, ex-dairy farmer. Honestly, it's really funny. We've just been chatting farming all the time. So I'm going to turn the camera on Rob, because this is an interesting story. I think for anyone watching this, farming's going through a lot of changes. People need to sort of think about alternative income. Rob is a classic example of an ex-dairy farmer, and I think there's more ex-dairy farmers out there than there are dairy farmers now. So I'm going to turn this camera on you, mate. All right.
Yeah,
I know
cool.
it's not probably the easiest thing to do, but I'm going to ask you a few questions about your farm and about your lovely holiday cottages.
Perfect,
and
that's kind of you.
so give us a bit of background about your story on the farm. How long have you been farming then?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to start off by saying I love the phrase "Rob's in charge" because when Lynn hears that,
Oh, well, it's a partnership. We all know
absolute
that.
partnership.
Yeah.
Lynn's
Okay. Well, she's not here today,
No,
so
she's not.
she
No,
sent
that's-
you along as a stunt double.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, so history in farming. So I'm second generation.
Right.
So mum and dad came here in the '60s, dairy farming from then, and I think going through the '90s, it was all becoming a bit more sort of intense and things that I wasn't enjoying so much, and then we changed to Kiwi style farming, block carving
Right.
in the spring. And that was great. And then we share farm with our neighbour from 2016, something like that. So
Right.
yeah, that's sort of
But so you were dairy farming right up till when?
2016.
So what
yeah.
made you stop dairying? Because that's quite a thing to do, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Well, I think you all know there are lots of dairy farmers where it's a really tough decision, and it wasn't.
Right.
Being honest.
Yeah.
So I think. So we'd been farming with our neighbour Sue for those 16 years, and so I was able to share the milking. And I think when it came to that point, Sue sold a farm in 2016. So there are two things. First of all, our next generation have all got careers of their own,
Right.
and really proud of them, but they're not in farming.
Right.
So there wasn't next generation
Okay.
coming on. And also, I set a goal when I was probably in my early 30s that by the time I was 40, I wanted to give up afternoon milking. So
Right. I can understand that. It's quite a tie,
Yeah,
isn't it? If you're a
it
dairy
is.
farmer, you know what it's like. It pulls you back from anything
Yeah.
else you're doing, doesn't it?
It does, and I never used to mind the morning milking.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same.
But you go off and you think, I'll do
Yeah.
that, and then you'd be rushing around, and then you'd be coming back again. So that was okay because by my late 30s we switched to once a day milking. So,
Right. Oh, did
so
you?
that- yeah. So that.
How
that
did you
was-
find that?
Oh, brilliant! Life
Was it?
changing.
I
Absolutely.
wouldn't mind doing that myself.
No, it
Right.
really is, and I think it's interesting because you get the reputation of lazy farming. It's not. And
I know
it's-
some
and
other
it's-
farmers near me that
yeah,
do it.
I remember
Actually.
someone say it's So it's really interesting. But
Right.
again, we copied other people doing it, inspired by other people and things. So that was that. And then when it came to 2016, I was 50. So we'd be going back to milking without Sue's farm, going back to milking on a small scale.
Yeah.
Which meant I'd be doing it all again. And
Yeah.
that didn't fit with my goal of
No.
not milking
No.
after 50. So it did become quite an easy decision actually.
Right.
Yeah.
So when the cows went, was it? I'm not going to dwell on it too long.
No.
When the cows went, was it a big shock? Almost like suddenly they've all gone. Because for a lot of dairy farmers, I
Yeah.
think that would be
Yeah.
quite a thing.
So again, that's really interesting because it feels the right thing to say was it was awful and quite emotionally challenging and things, but it wasn't. And the reason for that is that so I said we were block carving in February, which meant we used to dry off in December,
Right.
and then so they'd be dry for Christmas and January, and then start carving again in February. So what happened in the end of 2016? We dried them off as normal. But what was really great, that a really good guy, he bought the whole herd, so the whole herd went as one. So that psychologically, that was great. There's no on-farm sale and things.
Right. Oh, yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
I would have hated an on-farm sale.
No,
Yeah.
no, me too. So they all went off together, and that felt nice that they were starting a new unit
Right.
up country.
So they're all together, which is nice, isn't it? Because they've
felt
been
really-
together, haven't they?
Exactly, and that felt that. I think that made a massive difference psychologically. And then, but also we had all the young stock, so I was still busy working out in the fields with the heifers and things. And so all that happened, we went through January, and when we got to February, instead of carving didn't happen, and I was still looking after the heifers. So
Right.
it was sort of quite a gentle move into it, really. So that made a big difference.
So suddenly, when you lost these cattle, you freed up a lot of time.
Yeah.
Was this when? Let me just pan around. So here we are. This is where we're staying, and there's another cottage next door. Bud is here keeping an eye on the place. He's liking the garden. We've got the hot tub over there, which we've been in. So was this when you decided to plan ahead and build something to give you an alternative income? I mean, how did it
Yes.
come about building a couple of cottages?
So I think obviously through 2016 it was lots of discussions about what we were going to do, whether we were definitely going to stop milking and what we'd do instead. So So this really was driven by Lynn. So you know, like the best ideas are copied,
Yeah.
aren't they? You know,
Yeah.
you can be.
Oh yeah, you can see how other people have done well or made
Exactly,
mistakes.
Yeah, and we'd stayed in different places, and then you get a feel for what you like. And we stayed somewhere. And Lynn was saying, "I'd love to do this one
Right.
day." She was trained in hospitality, and it's just her sort of thing. And so that was a discussion that where we're standing now used to be an old pole barn.
Oh really?
Yeah.
This is your old calf shed.
Yeah, so Dad built them in
Right.
the 60s and 70s
Yeah.
and things. And then when we stopped milking, we made a new calf unit up in the old
Right.
milking parlour. And so these became redundant. And so they were genuine redundant buildings that we could get planning permission on. And so, so again, we just had the sort of remit together. We just wanted to build something that was high-end, open plan, a log burner for year-round letting, and the hot tub, and importantly the hot tub undercover,
Yeah.
so that if it's burning sun in the
Well, my kids love it.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And also there's a really nice thing if it's absolutely pouring down, you can be in it. And
I mean, sorry to interrupt,
No,
but
no.
the advantage you've got, I guess, is your location is absolutely spot on for tourism, isn't it?
Yes.
You're 2 miles from Weymouth, is
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
I mean, we
so-
went
yeah.
on the train, walked down to the train the other day
Yeah.
to get into Weymouth, and so we didn't even have to drive in from here.
No.
And, so location-wise, absolutely bang on, isn't it?
well, we're lucky, yeah. And you always have a bias to your own
Yeah.
town and where you grew up and things, don't you? But
Oh, it's lovely.
But yeah, we both grew up in Weymouth, and we feel that, and I think we can, you've got the Dorset coast and the beach or whatever you want, all in that direction. You've got sort of Thomas Hardy country and really nice, just
Oh,
a
the
few
walk
miles
through.
inland and
So we
things.
went down to Corfe Castle yesterday,
yeah.
and what's the arch thing?
Durdle Door.
Durdle Door,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's-
Went there.
that's a real
Durdle
sort
Door.
of
That's
favourite people
beautiful
down
down
to. That's
there,
amazing
and it's
down
only
there.
20 minutes from here. It was really quick.
Exactly. So and also I think growing up here, just where we actually are, if I'm honest, because Mum's bungalow
Right.
is just there.
Yeah.
Lynn and I live just there. And it felt growing up that it was sort of close enough so I could jump on the train for school or meet mates in town or whatever. But you just go a few yards in that direction, you're right out in the countryside.
I know, it's lovely, isn't it?
We feel really lucky.
Well, I'm glad to be I'm staying out in the countryside, but close to what's going on.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
So
not out in the sticks.
back to the cottage then. Obviously, I mean, it's quite an achievement to build this, and you got to give yourself credit for doing it, because this is the thing I think about farmers is the ability to adapt is incredible in farming, isn't it? It's like no other business really, because
Yeah.
you've gone from milking cows
Yeah.
to building a holiday let
Yeah.
and letting it out. I mean, that's a hell of a transitional skill.
Yeah.
How did you find that transition? I mean, were there any problems in building the place?
I'm trying to keep a straight face.
Yeah,
There
go
weren't
on.
any mistakes.
Yeah,
along the
but no,
way or
there's
anything
bound to be,
like that,
Rob, isn't there? And I know you're an honest chap.
We are really pleased how it's turned out. So I think the key thing was having a clear vision of the concept, and I'm not saying that I'm paying the compliment to Lynn on this. We both had a vision, I guess, of how we wanted it to be. So I think it was having that clear vision, and that was the key thing. Getting it built to how we wanted it to be, and we were pleased with. But when it comes to the inside, then it's nice when we get a compliment about the inside, but that's when I have to hold my hands up.
It's not your department,
It's not my
is it?
department, and
I guess you didn't make the welcome cakes then. Hey,
Funny that.
Rob, did you do any baking for me?
No, I usually try and keep out because I have a reputation of being clumsy, so I try and stay outside.
It's know
my
your
job
skill
for
set
outside.
though, isn't it?
Yeah, so I think again, not just trying to fill in, but she had that vision of how she wanted it to
Right.
look inside, and so hopefully most people like it. If people, it's not quite their thing, whatever. But the main thing was she knew exactly how she wanted it to be, how she wanted it to be presented, and I think the key thing is keeping it to a standard. And I think our sort of mantra really is that we want to try and not rest on our laurels, keep it moving. So I think if someone's kind enough to come back for a second
Right.
time,
Yeah.
they'll come back, and rather than they think, oh, it's still nice, but it's a bit shabby, they'll see that it's
Right.
had that lick of paint, it's got a bit of new furniture. The broken things are replaced, it's still
Yeah.
even stuff in it and things. So yeah.
So where could someone find this place then if they wanted to look it up?
So if you Google Wild Meadow Cottages, it'll come up on the website, which is a travel chapter, but also it'll come up on Facebook as well, so you can get in touch.
So I'm interested. Just I won't dwell on this any longer. We're going to go and look at your herbal lays in a minute, aren't we?
Fantastic.
Because you're going to give me a bit of farming as well as a bit of holiday cottages.
I'll be more in my comfort zone.
But yeah, if you, I mean, so there's plenty of farmers who watch my videos who probably would be thinking maybe I could try something like this. Are there any words of advice that you could give them? Should they get consultants in? Did you do it all yourself, or you know?
On which bits?
Well,
what do you mean?
I wouldn't even know where to start with a holiday let to build one. Would you? What advice would you give someone?
Yeah, so I would say definitely go and talk to somebody who's done it.
Yeah.
Somebody you can trust, somebody who will give you the full picture of the things that went wrong as well as because the things that went wrong will be as more important than the things that went right. So I think it's going around talking to someone who's done it, but as I said before, I think first of all is having that real clear vision of what would your end product like to be. What would you, not necessarily the detail of how it looks, but just the principle of what are you trying to do? Is it year round? Is it through the summer, whatever? Who are you trying to attract, and what are you trying to deliver? And then I think one of the best bits of advice I was ever given in farming was a guy who's from Cork and a brilliant guy, and he said, decide how you want to farm, find the best worldwide at doing it, and then copy them. And I'd say it's exactly the same principle with this. I think if you found somewhere that you like or vision, then just try and find the people who have done it and talk to them. And if you're going in with a real genuine interest, then you'll find people who really, will really open up and be helpful.
Do you know, I think that's really good advice actually, because people would like to say, I've done it all my way, but actually, do you know what? That can sometimes be a massive mistake, can it?
Yeah, it absolutely could. Oh, it absolutely could. And I think we are really honest in saying the only thing we've done ourselves is put our collection of best bits, what we thought had been best bits, to put it together, as it were. There's nothing new in a hot tub undercover or a burner or some nice furniture.
Huge big telly in front of the sofa, which is absolutely lovely on a wet day.
So again, Lynn's principle is, if I was coming to stay here, what would I like? What would annoy me? Right, I need to get rid of the things that would annoy me. I need to put in there the little things when you're looking around and say, I could do with that and things. And like you say, if it's a really horrible day in the middle of winter, well, how are you going to spend your day? Well, you might go in the hot tub because you like the log burner, and then you probably sit down and watch a film or something like that.
That's spot on, actually.
And you want somewhere where you can cook nice.
And it's not. I mean, this is a place. Doesn't matter whether it's rain or shine, does it?
No, and that's
a big difference between some places where there's a hot tub outside, but there's no roof on it.
Yes.
And that ain't that great when it's trucking down with rain.
No,
know.
And again, we've been to both, and we know which we like best. So
there it is. Yeah. Right, have you been in that hot tub? I bet you've tried them all out, haven't you? When not today.
Not today, no.
But when everyone's away.
No, that could be a bad review.
Yeah. But if I turn up here one day and you're in there, just come in and check the temperature. Rob, that's brilliant. Right. So as Rob said, go and look on his say it again. What is it?
It's Wild Meadow Cottages.
There you go. I'm rubbish at remembering it. And where are we in the little village?
So we're in Weymouth.
Yeah. We're just on the edge of it, aren't we? What is it? Yeah. Broadway, is it?
In Broadway.
Broadway. Yeah. So you can Google Maps that, and also you can look on his website.
And the two cottages are Honeybee and Dragonfly.
Right, we're in Honeybee. Yeah. So we're going to go look at your herbal lays now, aren't we?
Fantastic.
Which do you know what? So I've learned a lot about holiday cottages, but the interesting thing about the herbal lay thing is it's SFI, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've done it under.
Yeah.
So that's something I've mentioned a few times on my videos. When I was talking to Rob the other day, and he just mentioned about he's done herbal lays, and I was like, ooh, because I don't really know what those look like. And we're going to have a look at that, and maybe it's something you're going to see on my place at some point. Right, let's go. Crack on, Rob.
Great.
Okay. Do you want us to scratch?
Oh, dear.
Oh, there's a farmer with your animals love you, and the one's having a little piggyback at the back.
Yeah.